Yeah,
We
what's
in here,
going on,
baby.
everybody? It's your boy Wayne Breezy. Mike Andrews in the building. Welcome to No Harm, No Foul. This is the show where we're going to break down some Niner stuff in 30 minutes or less. So I know some people yesterday were like, what happened? It's the 30-minute show. Your lunch 30. Mike, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? I'm a little under the weather over here, man.
Yeah, it's
A little
starting to
beat down,
hit over here too
but
as well.
yeah, this is.
Yeah,
I'm exhausted, man. I feel like somebody been like waterboarding me, man. Like just heavy. I can't breathe.
yeah.
Scary, man.
Listen, I understand. But it's I'm telling you, it's that East Coast. This is what we get for going outside with t-shirt on.
Trying to be
Type,
cute, right?
yep, type of weather. And then you wake up the next morning and go from 80 to 30 real quick.
Right.
But
And then it's supposed to be 80 again this coming week, man. I don't understand.
oh man, that's
I don't
crazy.
understand.
Well, shout out to
I
everybody
just,
that's tuning in, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Mike, we want to get right down to it because Mike has something prepared for everybody. So I know the title of the show is Season Expectations, but we're talking about team's expectations as well as individual player expectations. If you read the description, it's in there. I'm not sure if people read descriptions anymore.
they probably don't. They probably don't. They just see the pictures and oh, it's a show, and they just jump in there.
It's all good. That's why we're here. We're here to break it down for them.
But wait, so what was interesting to me was, or is, I shouldn't say it was, the Niners usually hit their stride around week 7-ish.
7
You know what I
ish.
mean? Like that's
Yeah,
when they really come on and like they just start going crazy.
for sure.
Well, we're not quite there, and things can take a turn, right? We could go through some crazy losing streak or something like that. But I recall the Niners being 3-4. I
Mm-hmm.
recall the Niners being 3-5.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just flip a switch and turn it on to, NFC championship games, right?
Except
They
for
never started
2019.
I was gonna say they never started 3-0 except for in 2019. Um, so with that said, I still don't think this offense or defense has hit its stride. I still think that we're feeling out a little bit of what Wilkes wants to do and how he wants to do things. I think Shanahan is still kind of learning some of his pieces and gaining more confidence in Brock Purdy. I know people say, "Oh, he's never been more confident in a quarterback before." That could be true. That doesn't mean he can't still be gaining confidence in him, right? So,
Mhm.
what does it look like when we get the confidence? Well, like, how does the season end? Let's pull up the schedule and just see what the rest of this looks like because I'm interested to know where the 49ers losses are coming from. Because Wayne, I'll be honest with you, as of right now, I don't see a lot. I don't
Yeah,
I don't see a lot of
I only had us losing 4 games, period. Anyway, and some of those games I may have to go back and retract just because of the way things kind of like shaped up. Man, I knew our team was going to figure out a way to be dominant, but I think you hit the nail on the head. They still haven't hit their stride yet. Like they're still kind of like searching for their identity in somewhat, and maybe this is the year where they go like at least on offense without an identity, like, and the reason why they do that is that way can't maybe Kyle Shanahan is tired of everybody copycatting the league. Like copycatting them, taking this, trying to get a Debo, trying to get a Christian McCaffrey. And so Kyle's always trying to figure out a way to one up everybody anyway. You see what Mike McDaniels is doing over there in Miami with speed. And Kyle's like been
mm,
there, done that. We'll beat you with speed and physicality. We might not have the same type of speed, but now we have
right.
speed with physicality. Speaking of physicality, Mike, so here's today's update on injury report for the 49ers. This is per David Lombardi and Matt Mayoko. Debo Samuel missed practice today with a rib injury and now a knee injury. And Jawan Jennings with a shin injury. Being that it's only Wednesday, there's still time, I would say, for those players to be available on Sunday. But what are your thoughts? I mean, this is I mean, we talked about Brandon Ayuk not playing. Is this a game where the 49ers can probably let Debo Samuel chillax?
I don't know, man. I kind of want to see Debo out there against Arizona. Okay, those linebackers are flying around a little bit. I think we might need a physical wide receiver out there. We definitely gonna need George Kittle. We need somebody to bring the boom to that secondary.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, this knee injury though is interesting because this wasn't on the report previously.
No, it
That
just
means that
popped
this is
up.
new.
Hmm. It
That's
just
that's
popped up.
worrisome. That means that something happened during practice or
or they just never. So here's what I'm finding out. The or they just never disclosed it. And the reason why I said that is because they also released today that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's extensions were agreed upon week one of the season opener, and they wanted to wait to release it.
You think they were waiting for like a loss and be like, you know what, forget it, man, because I don't think we're gonna lose no time soon.
I don't
Like,
know.
let's just go ahead and get this out the way. Let's put it out there now.
I mean, I don't know. I like maybe they were waiting for the home opener opposed to the season opener.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that. The home opener. Okay. All right. That's cool.
But
That's
I'm
cool.
just saying the Niners have the power to withhold information. Now I'm not. I mean, or maybe you're right. Maybe he just tweaked something in his knee. They didn't say it was super serious. He just didn't practice today. So now we gotta play. Like now we gotta kind of like monitor the Debo situation. And for me, like I rather Debo. If okay, I'm gonna ask the question of all questions, and I want to get your honest opinion. But if you had to pick a player to play every game, would you pick Debo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk? Yes, it's not tough. I mean, it's super tough. Stupid. This is tough.
Yeah, because they do different things. I would I would I would go with Debo. I'm gonna stick with my preseason answer,
I
right?
don't. I don't think people are. I don't think people understand. With I'm gonna agree with you, but I don't think people. This is not about who's the better wide receiver.
At all.
I
At
but
all.
I don't think people are understanding the question. And then so you feel me? Since I think Ayuk makes others better. Ayuk didn't play last week and Debo balled out, so I don't think Ayuk made Debo better.
Well, what ends up happening is, you need guys who are electric after the catch when defenses are blitzing you at the rate the Niners are being blitzed right now, right? Ayuk can be as good of a route runner as he wants to be, but if he can't get open, or if he's open but there's no time for his route to
To
develop,
throw,
he's
he's not.
eliminated.
Yeah, that's taking
And
away a
it doesn't mean
weapon.
that he did anything wrong. He could do everything perfect, have 10 yards of separation, right? But if there's no time to get him the ball, then there's no time to get him the ball, and he just doesn't exist. So you kind of need guys like your George Kittle who operates closer to the line of scrimmage, and your Debo Samuel who operates closer to the line of scrimmage, and your checkdowns at Christian McCaffrey, right? Like those are the three guys that you kind of have to have, and the outside guys, they'll be the cherry on top,
Hmm.
right? But the major filling of your pie,
It's got to
the
be
major
Debo.
filling has got to be Debo. It has to be.
So I
He's a
feel
better
like
fit for what we
there's
do right now.
there's three players the Niners, in my opinion, which would help us exceed expectations each and every week. There are three players from that offensive side that they need every single week if they can, pending their health or barring their health. It's Debo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle. I feel like those three players need to be out there. Now, we can win games without them. Um, it'll take a different type of game plan, but when you got those guys out there, you know you're gonna get a physical, playmaking, yards after the catch type of football game. It's almost like playing pickup football. I mean, those guys have assignments and they're out there. They got to make certain key blocks and things like that. But once they get the ball in their hand, it's like catch me if you can. And so, love Brandon Ayuk. Want Brandon Ayuk to play every game. But if I had to choose between one, I think I'm gonna go with Mike on this. I think I'll go with the weapon over the receiver just because you can utilize the weapon a little bit differently. Like you can change up how I'm going to use the weapon. Debo, I need you to line up in the backfield. I need you to run the ball. I need to do this. I need to do that. And because of his stature and his physicality and his mindset and the way he plays football, you know, I would go with Debo with you, Mike. I just wanted to throw that
Yeah.
out there because we were talking about the injuries. Now, Jawan Jennings is also didn't practice with a shin injury. Not sure when that came about, but interesting to see if he's going to be good to go on Sunday as well. I mean, like I said, it's only Wednesday, so we have plenty of time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We just got to take our time. And by the way, this is not the first practice of the week. This is like the second or
This
third,
is
right? Because they had the long week.
yeah. They had the light practice on Monday. They practiced yesterday, so this is the third practice. Yes, they didn't
Okay.
disclose the shin injury, but the shin is on the foot and the leg. So yeah, you ever got kicked in the shin? That junk hurts.
I have. That was a girl's way of flirting back in the day. I had crushes on
Ouch.
soccer players, and like an idiot, those girls were, when you're young, ha ha, pow. I
Hmm.
think you cute, pow. Oh, you got cooties, pow. The little hits and kicks and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about these expectations that you have brewing up in the dome. So I'm curious to know now. Season expectation, I think for the team is Super Bowl, right? It's got to be Super Bowl or bust, right?
Right.
Okay, so
No, no, that's the standard.
that's the standard, right? And I guess you can
Mhm.
put that for every team in the league. Cool. Now let's talk about some of these individual expectations. Like let's talk about some of that. You want to start with the coaching?
Let's go. I'm with it.
All right,
But
man.
well, yeah, let's go. So, you got Kyle Shanahan in here. You've got Steve Wilkes. A story came out recently saying that Kyle Shanahan has a big part in the defensive coordinator success. Did you hear about that?
No.
They were saying that the reason why the defense makes such good second half adjustments is because Kyle goes into the defensive room.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I remember now.
So you did okay. So you saw that.
Yeah.
Do you buy that?
No.
Oh,
I
why
believe
not?
Kyle goes into the defensive. I like because Kyle also said that there's not enough time for him to do stuff like that. So like, which one is it?
Right, right. I agree. Like, which one? It
Now,
can't be
but
both, right?
it can't be both. So like, do I buy that Kyle oversees the play calls? Yeah, but as far as the adjustments, I think he trusts his coach to make the proper adjustments. And so like Kyle is worried about making sure or yelling at his offense for not getting a touchdown at the 1 yard line. Like I think that's Kyle Shanahan. As far as the defense, he's going to trust Steve Wilkes to make the adjustment. Now he might sit there and say, "Hey, Steve, you can maybe based off of these formations that they play on their offense, maybe such and such. Like give him something." But I don't think they sit there and go through. I don't think he has enough time to do that. Halftime's not that long.
Right. I completely agree. And that's by the way, we looking at halftime as a whole. They stop him on the field when
Right,
they're running into the locker room. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, I just don't know that he's going there doing a whole film breakdown in 15 minutes and talking to the offense and all that. So, anyhow, I what do we expect from Kyle? Do we expect to see more aggression? Do we? Let me ask this question.
That's a good question though. So hold
Yeah.
on to that question too.
Okay. Well, that's all. I'll tie it together. Do we expect to see more shots down the field? I heard Debo talk about how important it was because they couldn't do it. These aren't my words.
No,
He
no,
said
no. Those
because
are
we
Debo's
couldn't do it.
words.
Yeah, because we couldn't do it. It was cool to get one of them, and we want to see more of that. Do you
Remember, we
think that the
thought
Niners naturally dial it up more?
yeah, like I mean, you've seen him do it. Like if the blitz isn't on, that ball's going down the field. Did you see like when Debo said that? Like everybody was immediately like, "Yo, is he taking shots at Jimmy Garoppolo?"
Oh
Absolutely, he was taking
shit!
shots at Jimmy Garoppolo. Like
Oh,
that.
that's how you took it.
That's how I took it.
Oh
How did
wow,
you take it?
it's not like that. Okay, okay. So we on something. Okay.
Well, I'm saying that because listen, what's the one thing we saw Kyle do week 2? Take shots down the field. How many times did he attempt? It was two. He was 2 for 5, right? So that's 7 attempts down the field. He had 2 completed passes, and then 5 of them were either over. 3 of them were missed throws, and I think a couple of drops, right? Like or
Right.
well defended PBUs. So Brock is trying to get the ball, and then on his overthrows, I mean they were literally overthrows. Like to say that they were overthrows for Brock Purdy is weird because he's so used to. First of all, I'm used to underthrows. Second of all,
Right.
I didn't even know Brock had the strength to overthrow a pass. So you get
That's
what I'm
disrespectful.
saying? Yeah,
Don't don't
he
don't
got
take
that
shots at
elbow
my
fix,
quarterback.
bro. No, he just got the elbow fix. He got the bionics put back in there. That's what really happened. He didn't really tear his UCL, bro.
Oh my God.
He got a chip.
He got the bionic joint.
He got the bionic joint put in there. You see him overthrown. That's why the timing is off, bro.
I really, honestly, I just thought that, I didn't even take it as a shot at Jimmy. I took it as a shot at the criticisms from the preseason and from all the camp reports.
Like where well, in camp, he couldn't throw the ball down the field, and then there were a lot of interceptions, right?
Right.
But as of right now, zero interceptions and what you would say 9 attempts downfield this year, maybe
Yeah,
10.
yeah, at least. Yeah. Yeah, I would say at least 9. Yeah.
So to say that Kyle isn't trying to dial up the deep throw, he's definitely trying to take the top off the defense. And what does that do? Back the motherfucking safeties out of the box, dog. So he can keep continuing to run the ball.
Right.
So I look, Kyle. So to tie it into what you were saying, Kyle's expectation is he's being more aggressive. First series of the year on a fourth down goes for it.
Right.
I think Kyle is no longer conservative. Now that can change because if we start blowing out teams, I think Kyle is the type of head coach that won't keep the pedal to the metal.
Yeah. I think so. I think he will. I think Kyle, like once he gets on a streak and that becomes like his identity, I think Kyle will dwell in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, like this time of year, I feel like Kyle's a little bit more conservative because he's trying to make sure before I put this out there, let me make sure I know who I have. Let me make sure I know what we can do. And then once that's like established, like once we know for a fact, oh, we hitting now. Like this is what we do. I think that's when Kyle turns it up.
That's
And
when he
that's when I
flips the
think he becomes
button.
a lot more consistent. Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about Kyle, if we flip it to the defensive side, it's the same formula. It's
Okay.
the
I'm
same
listening.
formula. So from Steve Wilkes is going to say, let me see what this team is trying to throw at us. Let me see how this team is trying to run at us. We're going to play our base defense. We're going to play this vanilla style cover two type of defense, which can shift to a cover one that can, like, you get what I'm saying? Like that can, they throw two back there, two deep. Like they just switch it up. It's really a shell, but there's so many different things that they can do depending on the assignments of what's going on from the offense. And so then you see press on one side, press man on one side. You see off the man on the other side. Then if the pressure is there, usually there's a incomplete pass or just a bad throw from the quarterback. And so I feel like Steve Wilkes is playing. He's telling you, your quarterback, in order to beat us, is going to have to be accurate. Now, on top of that, he makes the adjustments where he clamps down if that theory and motto is getting, I would say, exposed a little bit. So if you go back to week 2, Matthew Stafford was just one of the most efficient, quick throwing quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life, right? If you get back to week 2, and then in week 3, I felt like the Giants were trying that too. Daniel Jones just wasn't as accurate. But they weren't getting beat deep. They weren't giving up the deep routes. Daniel Jones likes to take shots down the field. That's how Matthew Stafford used to play. Sean McVay was like, yo, we're not going to attempt any shots down the field. We're going to beat them underneath deep. We're going to run the clock, control the clock, and that's how we going to beat these 49ers. And it was tight for a second until it wasn't.
I agree. I completely agree, man. Now, so we expect to see more aggression from both of those sides of the ball.
I
And
think like
sure.
I think like you said, I think it depends on the scenario, right? I think they have shown I think they're showing aggression. It's just a different way or a different type of aggression. So we got some breaking news too about the 49ers signing tight end Jake Tones to the practice squad? Mike, can you cross reference that one? Jake
Yeah,
Tones or
I'm looking it up now.
so that's interesting, right? Because they released Troy Fumagalli to sign
It looked like one of the better tight ends on
Right.
the team.
Right. This
I'm not seeing this anywhere.
okay. I don't know who Jake Tones is. Tongus. Jake Tongus.
I was about to say I don't see that
That
anywhere.
would be a dope name though, Jake Tones. Well,
According to his Twitter page,
we'll look that up though. We'll look that up. We got a super chat contribution from Fernando. He says, "I still think Danny Gray fits this offense. I still think Danny Gray fits this offense. What do you think?" Because I agree with him.
I, I don't. I believe it when I see it.
And
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 yes,
that's fair.
Matt Mayoko did tweet that out. Yep, to the practice squad.
And that is super fair, right? Like you say, you'll believe it when you see it. But if we're
Yeah,
trying to take the top off the defense, then why not have the speed threat out there to do just that? That
because until you develop the deep pass, it doesn't matter. It's like what I said
well,
about Brandon Ayuk, right? It doesn't matter how good of a route runner he is if the blitzes keep coming that way and there's no time to get him the ball. It's the same thing with Danny Gray's speed, right? Like
but
it doesn't matter if
Danny Gray's beating a 1-on-1. So Danny Gray has zero problems beating his 1-on-1 matchups. It's him running routes. Running a deep pass route is not a route. You just run fast down the field, and Brock is going to release the ball.
but we've already seen that. So that's part of the issue, right? I believe it when I see it, right? Like I don't think that he
We
can't run past anybody.
we
I
haven't
think that
seen
he
it
needs
from
to work
Brock,
on his route running. And
and
so
I
we've
agree with
seen
that. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
we've seen Brock throwing to spots, and if Gray's not going to get to that right spot, it's no good. He's got to work on that timing and rhythm with Brock.
I agree he has to work on the time and the rhythm, but I'm just saying if if you look at those passes that were overthrown, if Danny Gray is running, and we've seen Danny Gray do it in the preseason. We haven't seen it done in the regular season, but we've seen him win that 1-on-1 in the preseason at least once or twice. So if it's that particular route that he's running and that particular play, I mean, you watch Trey Lance hit him, possibly Brock can hit him too. But like you said, you'll believe it when you see it. So I could dig that. I'm not even gonna sit here
Let's
and argue.
no, let's go through this record, and you just tell me win loss real quick.
Let's do it.
49ers Cardinals, Niners at home.
Win.
49ers
Win.
Cowboys, Niners at home.
Next three are wins.
49ers at Cleveland.
Well, it's a win. It's always a win for me.
49ers at Minnesota, prime time.
Yeah, I just scratched my head on this one. I thought Minnesota was going to be better, so I picked Minnesota to win this game because the 49ers have to travel out back to two back-to-back games on the road. And so and then it's like Cleveland to Minnesota. So that was my theory, but Minnesota
They look exactly the same as they did last year. The only difference is they're losing these games by one score instead of winning them by one score. You know what I'm saying? But like they're
so it's
fighting back.
so I could see it being a win, but the 49ers will have to overcome that travel adversity.
That travel. Okay, that's fair. Um, 6 days later, because we go for Monday night, Niners back at home, so still travel against the Bengals.
Again, I thought that I don't know which Bengals team we're gonna get. I mean, they have a pretty solid defense. I had it as a loss, so I had back to back losses. But I think now we'll win. Like, you get what I'm
So
saying?
you got both of those as wins now?
I have them both as wins now. If we're
Oh,
getting the
shit.
same Bengals team that I've been watching since week one, not saying that they won't get better,
Mhm.
but you can eliminate the Bengals, take out Joe Mixon, and you're good to go. And I don't know when Joe Burrow will ever be good again.
Yeah, especially because the calf is
He
weird,
has
but
a
we'll
calf
get to
injury.
that.
It's super weird.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Now,
I
so we
had
go
that as a
from
win
home,
too. Yeah, I know.
flying back east, and then back west to play the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Is
So
that a win also?
you're talking. I got us beating the Jags, and I got us beating the Bucks.
Oh my God.
Sounds like we going undefeated, huh?
Oh my God. All right. So then now, Thanksgiving Day, short week,
Yep.
traveling north to Seattle.
I have us winning that game, and I have us losing the next one. Like
So when
the
we fly, extra time, we got mad time off, 10 days, and we come east and we lose to the Eagles again. This
think
is
we
the
lose.
game that everybody been talking about. You think this the one we
I
lose?
think they lose to the Eagles. I had us beating the Eagles, but I think they lose to the Eagles flying back east. Just things are just changing. It's crazy, right?
Okay.
I think by that time, week 13, the Eagles will be in their type of stride, but it'll be a close game. So it won't be like how it was before.
All right. What about Niners Seahawks again a week
At
later?
home, I have us. That's the only game we lose at home.
Wow. And then Niners on the road in Arizona.
and and then we beat Arizona and we beat Washington.
So we go from well, you skipped the Ravens on Christmas.
And I had us losing to the Ravens. I just they don't have a running game anymore. Like it's crazy. Have they ever had a running game?
No,
Lamar
no.
Jackson, but he's not the same.
Mm-mm.
I can't say that the Eagles are trash. That like me saying the Eagles are trash. That's not a. I don't get trash from the Eagles.
I didn't say that.
No. I can read the chat too at the same time.
Oh.
I don't get
I'm
trash
looking at
from
the
the
schedule.
Eagles.
I wasn't on that screen.
Yeah.
So you're not worried about the Ravens. You're not worried about Washington.
No,
You're not worried about the
I'm worried about
Cardinals.
the Ravens. That I have us losing that game.
Okay. And then the last one is
The Commanders.
against no, the Rams.
Did I miss the Commanders game?
No, you said it already. You said that we beat them.
And then we beat the Rams. We sweep the Rams. The
We
only
sweep the
team I
Rams.
think we go. What is it? 5-1 in our
So
division this year.
you got us going 5-1 in the division. You have us losing to no. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah. You got us losing back-to-back games. Eagles and then Seahawks.
Yeah. So the stupid two
So you have us
birds.
winning on Thanksgiving in Seattle, losing at home.
Right. Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. If I had to find losses in their schedule right now, I would say one would be to the Bengals, and that's about all I see right now. That's all I see right now.
Hmm.
I'm not worried about the Eagles. I think the team turns all the way up for that game. I
I
think
think the
they
team
turn
turns
all the
up,
way up.
but I just think it comes down to something close, like whoever gets the ball last type game.
We're gonna tap dance on them. I see the Niners working the Eagles. I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever been more confident, but I gotta wait and see. I have to wait and see. Do we have any other super chats we need to get to before we
Yeah,
wrap
well,
this
let's
up?
get to this because Jack says
Come on,
17-0, and there we go.
team at the end. Period.
Period. Period. So some people feel like we're not going to lose, and I love it. I don't want us to lose. I don't know why people think I want us to lose.
Oh
I'm
no,
just
no,
I'm
never.
I'm just being somewhat kind of realistic, but anything can
All right.
happen.
So Nick Bosa's off to a slow start. We know about the holdout. He got the contract and everything. He's got one sack through 3 games. How many sacks do you think Nick Bosa finishes the season with? I think that the 20 is off. He's not getting 20.
It's gonna be really hard to get back to that 20. It's not the year for 20, but I mean, if he gets a couple of like 4 sack games and he gets into a stride, remember again, he's not in his stride yet. Like there could
I
be
mean, we look at the quarterbacks that we're going to be playing soon now. Like
it's a couple
let's
of
be
mobile
honest with
quarter,
ourselves here.
a few mobile quarterbacks.
Dobbs and Dak, you can get Dak, right? Deshaun, you can get Deshaun. Kirk, you can definitely get Kirk. Burrow, you can get Burrow. What's Goldilocks' name out there in Jacksonville?
Trevor
Trevor
Lawrence.
Lawrence. You can get Lawrence. Baker, come on, we know what he did against Baker.
Yeah. We're gonna
Baker,
yeah. Baker, you can get Baker. We've done that before.
Gino.
You can get him.
All right, Hurts.
That's the only one, but you can still get him.
Mhm. Okay,
Him
and
and
then
Lamar
Gino
Jackson,
again.
bro. This is it's just it's Hurts, Lamar, and the quarterback that you ain't mentioned that I don't know if it's
Kyler
gonna
Murray.
be.
He's going to be back for the second one. December 17th, Kyler Murray will be back.
I don't know if he'll be back, but that'll be another hard one to get. And then the quarterback this week might be hard to get as well. Like we'll see with Josh
Yeah.
Jobs. Yeah.
He not getting 20, bro. He not getting
I
20.
think he gets double digits and it's 15 or plus. I think it's 15 plus.
Oh, no, I'd be surprised if he got 11.
Okay, so
I'm
I'm gonna go
I'm
with
gonna put it at
15.
11.
I'm
I
gonna go
can't
with
wait to see.
15.
And then, who do you think leads the team in sacks this year? Do you think it's him again?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. I'm gonna go with somebody else, but I don't know who yet. Jack says here, would y'all be shocked if we
No,
went 17-0?
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked at all.
I wouldn't be
I wouldn't
shocked.
be. You know what it is? Is that you sound crazy saying we're going undefeated and really trying to put your nuts on it, right? Like you sound like
Right, 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 right,
an
right, right, right.
arrogant, pompous fan when you
Right.
say it and you mean it, right? I can absolutely see how the Niners could beat every one of these teams
Every
on our
single team. The Niners
right,
can literally go 17-0.
right,
Especially after watching and getting some content from the way these football teams are playing and the way that
uh,
if the way the Niners are playing and they're not even playing their best football yet.
right, right.
So I can get
That,
it. I get it, but it's I don't know. I'm
that's how
okay.
time.
I'm setting tempering my expectations for the win loss records. I think it's okay to lose because it kind of can reset. You can reflect, and you could do those type of things. So it depends on which teams you lose to that will defeat them
Right.
mentally. So
Hey, and if let me ask you this, and then we'll get out of here. Right? Do you want to lose right before the playoffs so that we get it out the way? Or do you just want to say F it and pursue
nah.
perfection? Like let's say we're at week 16. So there's two more weeks left. Let's say we're at week 16. All right. Week 16, the Niners play the Ravens. Then you have the Commanders, and then you have the Rams, and you're undefeated still. Do you want them to go ahead and get a loss out the way?
If the Niners didn't lose by then, hell no. They just need to keep balling out.
You saying 19-0 or
I'm
or
saying I'm
20,
21 and 0.
20-0.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that's swinging your junk around, right? Like think
Come on,
about it.
bro.
Like
That's history.
that's history.
That's better than what the Dolphins did. I mean, the Patriots did what the Dolphins did, but they didn't win the Super Bowl.
They didn't win, and
So
they
this
didn't win
is
the Super Bowl. So you get what I'm
yeah,
saying. So the Niners
yeah.
can now not only win the Super Bowl but be a part of history. So like I said, if they didn't lose, if they don't lose a game, and you get all the way to week 17 or whatever that week was you talked about playing the Ravens on Christmas, you better not lose. You better bring it.
All right, we got to get out of here, y'all.
We
This
got
is
to
a
get
lot
out
of
of here.
fun, man. I wish we weren't cutting it short, but it's cool. No team is safe when the 49ers are on the prowl. This is Mike and Wayne. No harm, no foul. Peace.